Okay, Happy New Year, everybody. Dr. Joe here. Have been doing a lot of work on the North 22nd Street Road and Rail. Very, very pleased with how things are going. Using the iPhone to record this video, I get a lot less shake, which I'm pleased about. Hey, Dr. Z, Tommy Z, there's that SD90 I was telling you about with that burned out proto soundboard right there. Melted right about there. Kind of broke my heart, but live and learn. Anyway, as I mentioned in my last video, this back section is going to be underneath a large tunnel section, and the area right here where I've got a bunch of stuff and the drills and so forth positioned as sort of a work area or a staging area. You can see my helping hands where I do my soldering, tinning as they call it. Latest acquisition is the Menards Wally's Shell Station. Just thrilled with that thing, although the platform was a little warped when it arrived. I think it shipped with wet paint, to be honest with you. There in the foreground is a Disneyland monorail that I'm going to be installing around the layout in a little bit. Doolittle and Daly, an MTH building. I just got a big kick out of that. MTH Real Track is in use, as I mentioned last time. Got a lot of wiring done in the past few days. Very happy with the outcome, although I won't show you the spaghetti bowl mess underneath the table. There is an RS3 diesel, shouldn't be there actually, that it runs on TMCC, and I'm trying to get that to work with DCS. Not as good at that as I would like to be. There's the vinyl resting place, Neil's guitar store. I assume that's in reference to Neil Young, who helped save this hobby. There's the Lionel Diner, which I renamed the Richards Park Diner, and it smokes and lights up when I want it to. Nothing over here has changed. Right there in the foreground is a little hamburger shack called the Iceberg, which is a homage to a hamburger shack in Walla Walla, Washington, where my wife is from. We were just up there last week and had a ball. There's that Menards train station. I just love it. Love the lighting. Love the effects. Bought a bunch of die-cast cars on my recent trip, and very happy with them. And let's see what else. Oh, I mentioned this TMCC crane car that I found in storage, and I'm trying to get it to work with the legacy system. I'll show you that in a moment. Behind the Griswold house here, you'll see a little trolley that I'm going to be installing on super streets, using super streets for my streets in between the buildings. It's just parked there for the time being. Here's a great piece, a K-Line car honoring Operation Enduring Freedom, and that's George Bush sitting on a missile chasing Osama bin Laden. I always felt bad for George that he didn't get Osama. There's that legacy system I mentioned, Tommy Z, that I bought down in Burbank. I've got it hooked up okay, but I'm not able yet to command the crane car, which dismays me. There's that beautiful MTH Imperial that I bought last month, and which I'll get going here in a second. And I finally figured out how to really pump out the smoke. Now back there, you'll see, and I'll try to zoom in here, you'll see Genco Importing, which is an homage to the Godfather movies. And right next to it is Risotto Brothers Exterminators. We kill them dead and they stay dead. And right there is a die-cast model of Sonny Corleone's car with all the windows shot out. Probably could hook that up to a tow truck in the near future. In my dad's garage, he passed a few years ago, but in my dad's garage I found this really nifty, what would you call this? I don't know. Something to hold. He used it for a portable phone, but I use it for my DCS remote. And then, as I said, this back section will have a massive mountain built atop it, and then there'll be more track up on top. I'm not sure yet what it'll be. I also want to zoom in for Dean here on Genco Importing, and you'll see Don Corleone's Cadillac and Michael's Lincoln parked in front. Got those from diecast models direct, which I still can't believe the quality of the things. Okay, so that's sort of a walk around of the layout. I'll pause this and get this room filthy with smoke. Okay, let's get that, what is that? I can't think of the model number of that Imperial diesel, but God, I love this. I love that machine. And here we go. Get it going. I got smoke turned on. Filled it up. There's George chasing Osama. I turned off engine sound so you guys can hear me a little better. Anyway, so I'll tell you, if you don't pay attention, the smoke units run out pretty quickly, and I don't want to dry out that wick. So I'll be, there it goes. Now we're getting a little smoke. Anyway, so I'll be paying attention to that. Otherwise, I got to turn on Tommy Z's video for how to repair that. And yeah, that smoke's pretty good. Anyway, God, I'm just so pleased with how things are coming along. The table's 8x8, as I mentioned before, and the underlayment material, that gray, almost carpet padding-like material, is what I'm using to deaden the sounds. And so far, it really, really does a good job. Very happy with it. It'll get covered up with scenic materials at some point. I haven't gotten my yard lights wired in yet, but I will, because I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to put them. I did install this very short siding here in the foreground, just because I had the extra track and the space. I didn't want to overdo it on the buildings, and I fear I may have. Anyway, right there is an end of train device that I bought recently. And here it goes, or it should go. Well, it's not going, don't know why. Anyway, oh, there it goes. I don't have this siding wired the way I want it yet. Down there in the in front of the Lionel hobby shop is a pile of Disney characters that go inside the monorail. I need to get those put away. In the OGR forums, people were talking about billboards. That's my favorite billboard from when I was a kid. I got it rewired and working just fine. I'll turn on the American flag, which I get a real kick out of. I put a switch on it because once it gets going, it's pretty darn noisy. See if I can reach the switch. Here we go. Let's see, it lights up and just almost as if it was waving in the wind. There's that Red Owl supermarket again. Just a gorgeous piece of work. Oh, and there's the Lionel diner has lit up and smoke coming out of the diner. I don't know what they're cooking tonight, but I'll have some. It's a greasy spoon. Reminds me of Hot Now. Hot Now, Tommy Z. There's Joe's right there, Joe's Hamburger Shack in the front. Kind of a look now down Main Street. Really like that York Hotel. You know, up on top, those roof vents circulate. Unfortunately, they're pretty noisy. They also circulate on top of the Red Owl supermarket, and they're also noisy. I'm going to try some of that conductive lube on them. You can see the Amtrak is still in station. And what else? Oh, I'm not sure what else. Really looking forward to getting that crane car up and running. There's the Griswold house from National Lampoon's Family Vacation. It's a Lemax built up, or whatever you call them, Christmas Village kind of thing. There in the background you can see Genco oil importing, olive oil importing with the Don's 2 cars. Look at that flashing light in front of the Risotto Brothers Exterminators. What a piece of work. That is just a beautiful model. Anyway, so I'll conclude this by zeroing in on this legacy system, which I've got wired properly. And I'm still trying to figure out how to recognize TMCC locos and the crane car to get it going pretty well. Anyway, so that's the North 22nd Street Road and Rail, and I'll keep you guys updated on my progress. A lot of building going on. A lot of work. I did, in my last video, I did show you the carpet. You can see some light now underneath the benchwork. I installed a fluorescent fixture down there today, which gives me a lot of nice light. Oh, and over here is a flat screen where I watch my YouTube videos off of YouTube, and I follow just a few people on YouTube, Tommy Z, Sean's Train House, a couple of others, who give me some great advice and instruction. So, anyway, there you have it. Hope you all are doing well. Please leave me a comment. If you've got any ideas on that legacy system, boy, I'd sure like to know what they are, because I'm struggling with that darn thing. I hope you guys are all doing great. This is a fun hobby.